Season 7, Episode 3. The Queen's Justice. The episode begins with Jon Snow and Davos Seaworth arriving at Dragonstone, where they are greeted by Tyrion Lannister and Missandei. Jon and Daenerys Targaryen finally meet, but tensions rise as Daenerys demands that Jon bend the knee. Jon refuses, emphasizing that the threat beyond the wall is far greater than any political conflict. Tyrion mediates, trying to find common ground, while Jon remains steadfast in his mission to secure Dragonglass to fight the White Walkers. Eventually, Daenerys allows Jon to mine the Dragonglass as a gesture of goodwill. At King's Landing, Euron Greyjoy parades his captives, Ellaria Sand, Tyne Sand, and Yara Greyjoy, through the streets, presenting them as gifts to Queen Cersei. Cersei exacts her vengeance on Ellaria by poisoning Tyne with the same toxin used to kill Myrcella, forcing Ellaria to watch her daughter die in agony. Later, Cersei seduces Jaime and openly flaunts their relationship, signifying her absolute power and lack of concern for public perception. Meanwhile, in Winterfell, Sansa Stark takes charge of ruling in Jon's absence, proving herself capable of managing supplies and logistics. Littlefinger continues to whisper manipulative advice, but Sansa remains cautious around him. Bran Stark arrives at Winterfell, reuniting with Sansa, but his demeanor is cold and detached. He reveals that he is now the Three-Eyed Raven, overwhelming Sansa with cryptic statements about her past, including her trauma at Ramsay's hands. In Old Town, Samwell Tarly tends to Jorah Mormont, whose grayscale has worsened. Despite Archmaester Ebros's warning, Sam performs a dangerous and painful procedure to remove the grayscale, determined to save Jorah's life. Later, Jorah is declared cured and plans to return to Daenerys, expressing deep gratitude to Sam. Sam is reprimanded for breaking protocol, but is allowed to stay and continue his studies. The episode concludes with the fall of Casterly Rock. The Unsullied, led by Grey Worm, take the fortress as planned, only to realize that it was a strategic decoy. The majority of the Lannister army had marched south to take Highgarden, leaving Casterly Rock undermanned. At Highgarden, Jaime Lannister confronts Olenna Tyrell after the Lannisters seize the castle. In her final moments, Olenna confesses to poisoning Joffrey and defiantly tells Jaime to inform Cersei. Jaime leaves, stunned by the revelation, as Olenna dies on her own terms, unrepentant and victorious in spirit. Season 7, Episode 4. The Spoils of War. The episode begins with the Lannister army, led by Jaime Lannister and Bronn, transporting the gold from Highgarden back to King's Landing. Randall and Dickon Tarly assist in gathering food supplies from the local farmers. Jaime discusses his guilt over killing Olenna Tyrell and reflects on the war's toll. Meanwhile, at Dragonstone, Jon Snow shows Daenerys Targaryen the Dragonglass cave. Inside, they discover ancient carvings made by the Children of the Forest, depicting their alliance with the First Men against the White Walkers. Jon uses this as proof to convince Daenerys of the looming threat, and she seems more willing to help, if he bends the knee. In Winterfell, Arya Stark finally returns home, reuniting with Sansa and later sparring with Brienne of Tarth. Arya's impressive fighting skills surprise both Sansa and Brienne, showing how much she has changed since they last saw each other. Littlefinger continues his manipulations, giving Bran Stark the Valyrian steel dagger that was once meant to kill him. Bran, however, remains emotionally distant, telling Littlefinger that chaos is a ladder, a line that unsettles him. Sansa and Arya both notice Bran's eerie demeanor, realizing how profoundly his transformation into the Three-Eyed Raven has affected him. Back at Dragonstone, Daenerys grows frustrated with the recent losses and ignores Tyrion's counsel of caution. Deciding to take matters into her own hands, she rides Drogon, leading the Dothraki horde to ambush the Lannister caravan. The sudden attack catches Jaime and his forces off guard as Dothraki screamers overwhelm their ranks. Daenerys unleashes Drogon's fire, decimating soldiers and wagons alike. Bronn manages to reach Qyburn's massive crossbow, the Scorpion, and fires a bolt that wounds Drogon, forcing him to land. Amidst the chaos, Jaime sees an opportunity to kill Daenerys while she tends to Drogon's injury. Charging on horseback with a spear, Jaime races toward her, but Drogon turns just in time to unleash a torrent of fire. Bronn tackles Jaime into the river, saving him from being burned alive. As Jaime sinks beneath the water, the battle's devastation is evident. The Lannister forces are shattered, and Daenerys has delivered a powerful and terrifying message. The episode ends on a tense cliffhanger with Jaime sinking into the river's depths, his armor weighing him down. Daenerys stands victorious but troubled, while Tyrion watches from a distance, clearly conflicted. The brutal demonstration of Drogon's power leaves the realm in shock, as Daenerys proves she is willing to do whatever it takes to claim the Iron Throne, even if it means burning her enemies alive.